Do you think that black families at the end of life were treated differently than white families?
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding. Now, I'm going to say this because when I said it, y'all threw a fit. I'm telling you, this is hospice nurse Julie. For those who don't know, she is one of, if not the most popular hospice nurse on the planet. She is one of the reasons I got into podcasting and being on social media. Listen to her closely.
How so?
They weren't listened to as much.
They weren't listened to as much.
Advocates were difficult. Versus just, it honestly makes me want to cry, like thinking about that.
Makes me want to cry.
But it's true. It's like, if you're white, you're being an advocate. But if you're black, then you're complaining, you're high maintenance, you're aggressive. Like, I see it in hospice too.
Yeah. Do you think...
When I said it, y'all literally were throwing rocks at me. And so now she's telling you the same thing I've been telling you. And I'm going to say this because it's important. You all, African Americans, minorities, you pick your doctors. You need to pick your hospice companies. You cannot let someone hand you a hospice company. I went to a hospital in Atlanta, and I went because I had a family friend that was there in the hospital. And in the back of the hospital room, what they call a palliative care social worker had already given her a booklet for another hospice. This stuff has to stop. You all have to pick your own providers. And again, I'm going to say this because I find it, it's a little troubling to me that more pastors and churches haven't gotten behind this. You cannot allow these people to continue to take advantage of your constituents. I'm telling you, I'm willing to talk to you guys about this, but we cannot allow this to keep happening. Not in the hospital, not in any setting, because they do not listen to them. They do not think their pain is real. They think they are drug seekers versus people who are in pain. They do not give them pain medication, and enough is enough.
Individuals in the intensive care unit that have life-threatening disease, that don't have family, get treated differently than individuals that do have family.
Yes. Do you?
Yeah.
I know. That makes me so sad.
I've said that, there's a part of me that says, and I really wish she and I could sit down and do a podcast. There's a part of me that says, you all have to listen to what we're telling you, right? You have a family member in a hospital, in a nursing home, a personal care home, an assisted living facility. I don't care where they are. You have to go visit them. Now, it doesn't mean that the facility is bad. It doesn't mean that the hospital is bad. It doesn't mean any of that. But what it does mean is if they know you're coming and you're going to say, Henry, they shouldn't do that. They should do right by everybody. Yeah, most of them do. But you don't want to be that one. If that person's having a bad day, she walks into that room. How they're going to treat that person when the advocate is there is going to be different than if you're not there at all. You just have to trust me on that. That's one of the things that we said. When someone from my family goes to the hospital, someone sits in the room the entire time. They may get 3 to 4 hours a day to themselves, and we're right back in the room. I might go work. My granddad was in the hospital. I was working from that hospital room. My uncles were working from that hospital room. It is a around the clock thing to make sure that they are being treated fairly. And it doesn't mean that the hospital is bad. It doesn't mean a nursing home is bad, but you have to be aware and visible so that they know that there's someone there who cares for them. Again, I know what you guys are going to say. Henry, they shouldn't have to do that. I agree. We shouldn't have to do that, but we do. And I'm going to say this because it's important. If your loved one is in a hospice facility, hospice inpatient facility, whether it's in a hospital, especially in a hospital, or also in a hospice facility that's not with the hospital, you need to be visiting your family member every day. Do not let them sit in there. Do not let 12 hours, 24 hours go by and you have not visited your family member. You should not, you cannot do this anymore. The healthcare industry has changed. I went to a meeting this morning, where we were supposed to talk about with another hospice company, and we're talking about collaboration. And all I heard was, how can they get more patients? So you want me to believe that that same hospice company that has an inpatient unit in Atlanta cares about the people that is trying to educate them or that is trying to get more patients? You're not going to get me to believe that in no situation, in no case. They know who they are. We know who they are. But most importantly, it is important Do not leave your loved one in these facilities. Do not, if they're in a hospital, and I'm going to say this because I love Atlanta, but Atlanta has some things they need to work out. And the mayor really needs to get on top of this. These inpatient units in hospitals need to be looked at more closely. These are some problem areas that I am no longer comfortable with, and I will be talking about them every single day if I have to until we have change, because I will no longer allow my people, all colors, all races, to be treated the way that they are being treated in these facilities and being taken advantage of. And also, if you have a loved one, if you were put or your loved one was put in an inpatient hospice facility or put on hospice in the hospital, call me immediately. Text me directly, 404-992-5088, because together we are going to stop what's happening to people. Let me know what you all think in the comments. Thanks.